Quickly! I hunt alone.
Arena's full. Beat it.
Wow.
Join or die! You are the Shadow's puppet!
Quickly! I hunt alone.
You have been.
That didn't quite hit the mark.
deal every day with human tragedies. I realize how your life can change from 1 second to the other after a major stroke or after a car accident. And what is very frustrating for us neurosurgeons is to realize that, unlike other organs of the body, the brain has very little ability for self-repair. And after a major injury of your central nervous system, the patients often remain with a severe handicap. And that's probably the reason why I've chosen to be a functional neurosurgeon. What is a functional neurosurgeon? It's a doctor who is trying to improve a neurological function through different surgical strategies. You've certainly heard of one of the famous ones called deep brain stimulation, where you implant an electrode in the depth of the brain in order to modulate a circuit of neurons to improve a neurological function. It's really an amazing technology, and that it has improved the destiny of patients with Parkinson's disease, with severe tremor, with severe pain. However, neuromodulation does not mean neuro repair. And the dream of functional neurosurgeons is to repair the brain. I think that we are approaching this dream, and I would like to show you that we are very close to this, and that with a little bit of help, the brain is able to help itself. So the story started 15 years ago. At that time, I was a chief resident, working days and nights in the emergency room. I often had to take care of patients with head trauma. You have to imagine that when a patient is coming with a severe head trauma, his brain is swelling, and he's increasing his intracranial pressure. And in order to save his life, you have to decrease this intracranial pressure. And to do that, you sometimes have to remove a piece of swollen brain. So instead of throwing away these pieces of brain, of swollen brain, we decided with Jean-François Brunet, who is a colleague of mine, biologist, to study them. What do I mean by that? We wanted to grow cells from these pieces of tissues. It's not an easy task. Growing cells from a piece of tissue is a bit the same as growing very small children out from their family. So you need to find the right nutriments, the warmth, the humidity, and all the nice environment to make them thrive. So that's exactly what we had to do with these cells. And after many years, Jean-François did it. And that's what he saw under his microscope. And that was for us a major surprise. Why? Because
Light, bright, and cheerful. It's some of the most familiar of all early 18th century music. It's been featured in uncounted films and television commercials. But what is it, and why does it sound that way? This is the opening of Spring from the Four Seasons by Italian composer Antonio Vivaldi. The Four Seasons are famous in part because they're a delight to the ear. However, even more notable is the fact that they have stories to tell. At the time of their publication in Amsterdam in 1725, they were accompanied by poems describing exactly what feature of that season Vivaldi intended to capture in musical terms. In providing specific plot content for instrumental music, Vivaldi was generations ahead of his time. If one were to read the poems simultaneously to hearing the music, one would find the poetic scenes synchronizing nicely with the musical imagery. We are told that the birds welcome spring with happy song, And here they are doing exactly that. Soon, however,